Hi everyone, I'm Gail and my topic is Culture Teaching and Learning in EFL, ESL settings using technology. I've looked at 8 journals and found 25 related articles between 2014 and 2016 using the search words of culture and language teaching. The 8 journals I've looked at are TESOL Quarterly, Foreign Language Annals, Language, Culture, and Curriculum, Language, Identity, and Education, Journal of Multilingual and Multicultural Development, English Language Teaching Journal, Language Teaching Research, and Frontiers. And you can see the number of articles I've found in each of these 8 journals. I have to say, the number of articles I've found related to culture and language teaching is not as big as I had anticipated. But I found one article that contains all 3 keywords in my topic. EFL, ESL setting, using technology, and culture teaching. The title of the article is Online Intercultural Exchanges, and it is from the Journal of English Language Teaching, and the name of the author is Nikki Hockley, and her area of expertise is EFL teaching and teacher training. She has also co-authored several books, including How to Teach English with Technology, Learning English as a Foreign Language for Dummies, Teaching Online, Digital Literacies, Going Mobile, Webinars, a cookbook for educators. I chose this particular article also because it is a literature review of the history and research of online intercultural exchanges, so it gives us a general picture of what researchers and practitioners in TESOL are doing currently. In the article, the author first talked about the evolution of terminology in this field. There are several key terms. One is internet-mediated intercultural foreign language education, which was coined by Belts and Thorne 2006. And another is online intercultural exchange, which is the same as the title of this article I've chosen to focus on in this particular presentation. And it was coined by O'Dowd 2007. There are also terms like EPALs or KeyPALs, which are part of formal classroom culture learning. And there is a term which is mostly outside formal classroom learning. It's called e-tandem. And then the author moves on to talk about the early tools and approaches used in culture teaching learning in the EFL setting using technology. They include, and they are asynchronous or non-real-time email exchanges and synchronous communication, including simple text chat or voice-based chat programs like Skype that many people are still using today. The most recent tools and approaches the author talked about involve online collaboration tools like wikis, blogs, social networks, Google Apps, and virtual educational games like alternative reality games, as well as virtual worlds like Second Life. According to the author, there are a number of advantages of online intercultural exchanges, and the most obvious one is it supports the development of intercultural competence by complementing course books, interacting with real cultural informants, and raising cultural awareness. Of course, there is also a problem with using online intercultural exchanges in culture teaching and learning in the EFL setting. And the main problem is the problematic assumption that national groups have a single monolithic communicative style, which is obviously not true. And the author summed up her article by talking about the factors that affect the successful outcome of online intercultural exchange projects. The first one is technology, followed by pedagogical framework, task design, and the last would be the contextual as well as institutional factors. Finally, I'm going to talk about the pedagogical implications of this lit review. First of all, for us pre-service TESOL instructors, if we want to do culture teaching using technology in the EFL or ESL setting, we should feel comfortable using technology. And that's probably a starting point. Secondly, we should have a sound pedagogical framework to back up whatever we're doing, and also an effective task design that would make sure whatever is taking place in the online intercultural exchanges is actually allowing learning to take place. Finally, we should take into consideration institutional factors like take China as an example, where online social networking activities are closely monitored. We should probably be careful and provide our learners with certain training of what not to talk about. For example, politics, religion, and sometimes even death topics are not allowed, but mostly it's politics and religion. And contextual factors are also important to consider. For example, in a lot of places, technology is probably not easily accessible for both instructors and learners. And before we try something like this, to try to do culture teaching learning in the EFL, ESL setting using technology, we should first of all consider the availability and accessibility of technology. And I also have a personal question. As I was reading this literature review, and the question is, how does an instructor go about setting that up the online intercultural exchanges, matching people up and things like that. And that is probably what a future TESOL practitioner like us should consider when we try to do culture teaching learning using technology in the EFL and ESL setting. Thank you.